Come on in, sit right down. Keep your hands up and keep your chin down. Shut the door. Time to go with Randy Harris and Knockout Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, Knockout Radio with Randy Harris is about to start. So get ready for the best MMA talk, games, interviews, prizes, and surprises anywhere for Knockout Radio. I'm the voice, Ray Flores, and you can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Ray Flores MMA, or facebook.com/Ray Flores MMA. And now, here's Knockout Radio.
Hey, everybody.
What is going on, everybody? We are, or at least two of us, are back refreshed. Are you refreshed?
I am. I feel fantastic.
Wegs, are you refreshed?
Yeah, I have a Red Bull. Need a kickstart after carrying the show last week.
Ooh, so you carried it. Are you only saying that you carried it because Derek's not here yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I can. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
So
well, and I will say, we got it running on time.
Well, we're running on time tonight.
Today, previous 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, I came up with a new system.
Oh, boy.
It's called During the Day, I'm going to check it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I tested 3 times to make sure.
Check, double check.
Yeah, exactly. It's the check, double check. A couple cool interviews scheduled for tonight. I don't really know a whole lot, and I've tried to Google a lot about it. I spent all day, believe it or not, trying to get this program ready for today.
Lies.
No, seriously, I did. The XFN is in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's a boxing event. And originally I was told that it was on one of the cable stations, and I can't seem to confirm that. But it's old school. It's tournament style.
Interesting.
Yeah. Heavyweights.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Okay. Heavyweights. Tournament style. So I believe you'll have to win 3 fights on Friday night.
Ooh.
Nice.
I'm a big fan of the tournament. I like the tournaments.
That's old school UFC type.
Well, old school in the streets, too. All right, you're done. Who's next? So James Wilson, scheduled to be on at the bottom of the hour. Top of the hour, and I'm going to go and not talk a great deal about Josh Burkman's fight coming up on Friday against Jon Fitch, but there's some interesting things. There's a video that was put out, so I'm going to talk to him a little bit about some of the comments in the video. Josh Burkman, main event, Friday night. That's what, NBC Sports.
Yes.
NBC Sports Network, that is correct.
And then we're going to go up to, where are we going? Winnipeg. Did you see where the open workouts were?
I did not.
Inside the mall.
Oh, that's a pretty cool idea.
They had, I want to say that it was a press conference, not a workout in, I believe it was L.A. a couple years ago. But I don't know if, maybe they did in Minnesota when they went up there. They probably did it at the Mall of America.
There's enough room up there.
But kind of cool. So we're going to talk a little bit about Winnipeg.
That's cold.
Stipe Miocic.
What about him?
We're going to have him on.
Yes, we are. Kind of a big fight for him.
The new Croatian sensation, if I...
Now, did Pat Miletich have to give that up?
He's from Cleveland.
I know.
So...
Baseball player? Former baseball player.
He doesn't want to claim Cleveland, I guess.
Do you blame him?
Not at all.
I know I wouldn't.
Well, exactly. So that's some of the things. We are going to give away more prizes, more swag. We've got tickets to give away to the WCFL, which is the World Class Fight League.
Nice. Great event.
A great event coming up on the 29th. In attendance will be the Hammer, Matt Hamill. Speaking of Matt Hamill, rumor has it, Hooters, 4th Street in St. Petersburg, Saturday night.
Be there, be square.
Matt Hamill will be in attendance.
Nice.
Watching a little UFC action. So we've got the tickets to give away to sit with Matt. We're going to do that. I have a trivia question. Okay. To register, because we're going to continue giving away tickets. I looked this up. All right. I want to know the total record of the 4 fighters that Matt Hamill lost to. So if you want to tweet that out, you know, one of the social media experts that are in the room, and it's pretty impressive. I'll tell you that much. But I'm not going to give away too much. We're not going to say who the 4 are. It'll make things a little bit easier. to do the 10 seconds of research like I did. So that's what we're going to do.
Got it.
You got it already?
Yeah.
What's the biggest news? I really don't want to start with Bellator, but is that the biggest news?
I think it is.
Really?
Moving to Fridays?
And Fight Master, I believe, starts next Wednesday as well.
Interested in that?
Yes.
But didn't they learn anything by the ratings of the UFC on Friday night? Dead air's not good.
I'm trying to think because you don't prep us beforehand. So
I don't see you beforehand.
they're moving to Friday nights, but they could be going with the DVR as well. And I brought that up yesterday. You have people tape it; it still counts, I guess, in the ratings.
Yeah, because it's on.
So it doesn't matter, but it helps for live shows because now you're talking Friday nights. People can plan around that as opposed to Wednesday or Thursday nights, and then you still have to go to work the next day.
I don't mind live shows on Friday. I don't mind live shows or even a TV show on Friday once in a while, but I think they're going to suffer doing live shows each and every Friday night.
The other thing that they might suffer on is on a Wednesday night, media coverage on people who go to both Bellator and the UFC. It's easy to make the decision. I'll go to Bellator on Wednesday. I can fly out to where the UFC is on Thursday and do that for the weekend. Now it's Friday. They're not going. Would you go if one is in, say, Dallas and the other one's in Vegas, and you have the opportunity to go to both of them? You would still stay in Vegas Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Because there's so much to do. You have the workout, then you have the press conference, weigh-ins, then the fight.
World Series of Fighting on Friday, too.
Yep.
You excited about that fight?
DVR.
I'm more excited after watching the YouTube on Josh Burkman, an underdog again. He's been an underdog against Simpson in his last fight. I'm interested to see the new, or so he says, the new Josh Burkman.
Now, why are you saying he's an underdog? What is...
Go look at the odds.
He's won his last 4 fights.
Right. Is there a place to check odds?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
All right, so
give me a second. I'll find it.
So if you check the odds, I'm sure the odds are going to have Josh Burkman as the underdog.
And your last 4 fights for Jon Fitch, he is 1, 2, and 1.
Okay. One of you guys pull that up and let's see, where we stand with that.
Hold up right here. Hold on.
So pull that up. Did you see who's on the undertow? And I appreciate it.
The undertow?
Yeah, the undertow. The undercard on Saturday in Winnipeg. Jake Shields.
Got to start somewhere, right? You lose all those fights, you got to work your way back up.
But is he an undercard fighter? And against Woodley? Isn't that a fight that you would think would be?
But like Josh Saman said when we had him on a couple months ago, those channels do want one fight that they can market. And I think that's a fight that they can market.
Makes sense. I can definitely live with that. UFC last Saturday, awful reception, so we had to DVR, speaking of which. Anything surprising, either of you guys or Derek in the room? Oh, Derek's on the phone.
No AC.
Yeah.
That's what stood out.
Well, thank God that you wasn't there to cover it.
Might have killed myself.
Any of the fights? Wegs, did you catch it at all? No? Sean, anything from the fights?
I was at the bodybuilding competition that night.
Go ahead, talk about that.
Okay. Well,
okay.
It was interesting. I'd never been to anything like that before.
All right, but the question is, would you ever go again?
Well, I might actually give it a shot competing.
I didn't ask if you're going to compete.
Yes.
Not compete. Would you go watch another bodybuilding contest?
Yeah. Oh, man, I tell you what, the women. Whew. My goodness. Yes.
All right, I want to be real careful. I want to be real careful how I go, where I go with this.
Their arms were as big as Wegs'?
I saw some women at the Arnold Classic.
I believe that.
That I really wasn't sure.
Oh, I definitely believe that. Now, at the Tampa Bay Classic, there were no female bodybuilders, just figure and bikini.
Okay, then that's different.
So it was not the full-fledged, I'm going to crush your head in my biceps type. Yeah.
Want to see me perform?
Yeah.
Want to feel my biceps?
I don't know if your name is Paula or Paul. Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah, it was. Yes, I would go again.
Okay. So tell me about the competing. Our listeners are dying to know.
Oh, I'm sure they are. Well, as of right now, it's 14 weeks out from the St. Pete Muscle Classic, which is a level 2 competition. So,
Quick question.
do
Do you have to use a nickname?
No.
Well, no,
Not happening.
No, we'll get it
Don't
set
even.
up.
Don't even.
Can we bring some?
Don't
bringing
even
a sign.
bring
signs.
Bringing a sign.
All right, we're gonna reach out to the Bubba Army.
You know how they have like the fat heads with the big head.
This
It's
is
just gonna be a big onion.
horrible.
A big onion.
A big onion.
There you
Shut
go.
your mouth.
That works. All right, so we're going to reach out to the Bubba Army and the Burke Brigade, as well as the Randy Brigade.
Is that one and the same now because he's on the show? Has it been
Yeah, so,
consolidated?
well, no, I would assume no.
Because they would all now join the Bubba Army, correct?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. You could be a proud card-carrying member of both.
Okay.
So that's what
But Bubba's the higher power.
well, it's the Army.
yeah. So his command would he's higher in the
His command.
yeah.
But not necessarily the fans. Not necessarily the Bubba Army wouldn't necessarily be higher than the Burke Brigade.
Okay, we're getting way off.
I know we're
track
getting
on
way
this.
off. But we want
Tangent much?
we want to ask all of them to come out with big onions and support you.
Figuratively, not literally.
Well, I don't know. There may be some literally as well.
Oh God! Why do I ever say anything? I should just do the notes, do the website, and that's it. I just shouldn't even show up anymore.
No, we all welcome it.
Save myself.
You don't want fans there?
No, I'm okay.
You know what that means. Haters are going to hate, so now we got to get all those people because he doesn't want you there.
Haters make you greater.
They do.
Okay.
Will you wear that shirt when you perform?
No, he has to do that.
Yeah, you got to rip it off Hulk Hogan
You
style.
gotta Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Haters going to hate.
No, he
Haters
has to
make-
have the knockout radio shirt and rip that one.
Oh,
Look at
okay.
that. We're just thinking out loud. It's perfect.
I've never been to one of
marketing.
these events. Is
You've
that
been to the
type-
Arnold Classic. It counts.
No, I
Yeah,
never-
actually, that isn't considered an event.
I didn't
so.
watch that.
But
that
you
was
were
on the
there.
I was there.
You were there. You were in the same
It
building.
was an expo.
Yeah.
Right.
Expo. UFC Fan Expo.
That's coming up July 5th and 6th.
Fun time.
The next expo. Looking forward to it. They're still trying to organize a radio row, kind of like the Super Bowl. But we're already reaching out to some very cool interviews, some very cool stuff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So are we done with Bellator? Seth Petrozelli, he's getting ready. He's excited. He says he's going to, F up Bellator's plans and King Mo. Do we worry about that next week or after it happens? Or
Let's go next week.
Yeah, let's go next week.
How about
okay,
that?
next week.
So, I don't know. I thought it was. Should I drive this ship now? Steer it?
Please do.
Okay, fine. How about Fabricio?
And
Exactly.
it's
Right,
over.
right into the mountain. Fabricio Verdum's idea for Ultimate Fighter Mexico. Yes? No? Should he be a coach?
He would be next.
So to be him and Kane.
Well, yeah. So he's
Well-
already assuming that Kane's going to win.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You have to figure out is he even going to be the proper guy?
Do you still do Ultimate Fighter Mexico without Kane?
No.
No,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
everything
because
is
then you don't
on
have-
Kane's back?
Yeah.
If you want to have it in Mexico, then he's got to be there.
Have dates already been? Is all this stuff, or is it still
No.
talked?
I think this is still talk.
So really, you could do Ultimate Fighter Brazil with JDS and Kane as your head coaches,
Yes.
correct?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So
Because you got
Verdum is trying to say, fight, then let's do it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it make more sense to do those two as the coaches for Ultimate Fighter?
I think part of it
Mexico?
has to do with the language barrier, because Verdum speaks Spanish. He actually does commentating. He does commentary in Spanish for the UFC because apparently he lived in Spain, so he is able to do that and has.
He has
there
the
is
proper
no
Spanish.
Yes, Castilian Spanish, as opposed to if it was Kane and JDS in Brazil. Kane doesn't have the Portuguese for Brazil.
Well, no. I say you still do it in Mexico. You still do Ultimate Fighter Mexico, Kane, JDS as your head coaches, and either
No, but that's what I'm saying. Okay, so JDS doesn't have the Spanish for Mexico.
he doesn't have maybe the fluent Spanish, but you can get enough broken Portuguese to understand Spanish. I've been told.
Yeah, then you know more than I do.
I know no words in Portuguese.
He knows nothing.
I know nothing in Portuguese and probably a word in Spanish.
The only thing he knows in Portuguese is Brazilian buffet, Brazilian steakhouse. That's what he knows. More meat.
Well,
please.
no, they had the Brazilian pizza place too. All you can eat pizza, all sorts of different. You saw those pictures.
Sure.
So,
That
I mean, you could
sounds
do that. I mean, you could do that. I think it's Verdum just trying to, and I don't have a problem with him being the head coach either.
He's learning from the school of Sonnen.
Yes, absolutely.
Speaking of which,
He's throwing his name out there, saying, "I think this is a great idea. What do you think?" Getting the people talking. The only thing it didn't work for was Tim Sylvia. But go ahead.
thoughts on what has been released from Dan Henderson and Chael Sonnen? You guys have thoughts, opinions? Bother you? Doesn't bother you?
Please go.
No, I don't. It doesn't bother me. I mean, the whole them setting up Bones. I don't think it.
I don't think they necessarily set up Bones as much as they set it up for Chael to get the fight. It's not setting up Bones at all.
They gave him the upper hand. They gave him.
They gave Chael the upper hand.
Yeah.
Well, obviously,
performance enhancer.
Another
one.
Obviously, it didn't do any good. Performance enhancing or not, it was a bad idea.
It got him the fight. Though.
It got him the fight.
Got him 10 seconds of a fight.
Well, no, they got the build up. It got him an Ultimate Fighter gig. It got him 6 months of airtime.
The fight was horrible.
Not saying anything about the fight.
Yeah.
He got the paycheck. He got the championship paycheck.
Just out of curiosity, and if you have an opinion out there as well, 855-483-6646. Wow. You're saying that the Chael Jon Jones fight was horrible, correct?
You said that. It was a Jon Jones fight. It lasted. It was finished quickly, and you didn't get a chance to see.
And that's all I was going to say.
You didn't get a chance to see
what Jon Jones fight would you say was different than the Jon Jones Chael fight?
Evans. That was a lot different.
He just beat him up for 5 rounds.
Yeah, it lasted for 5 rounds. Now, with that being said, that was to me a crappy fight too.
Sure,
it wasn't very exciting at all. So
it was a one-way fight.
Yeah,
right. Well, I'm saying
it was dominated. He just went easy on him and didn't absolutely kill him by the second round, which is what he normally does.
So really, what I'm trying to get at is, you're basically saying the Chael fight, he talked his way in. It wasn't a great fight. It was, well, granted, that's true, but all the Jon Jones fights have been that way. Jon Jones has dominated, to the best of my knowledge, even all the way back to before he got in the UFC, everyone so much that it makes Jon Jones the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
Certainly.
So whether it's Chael, whether it's Dan Henderson, whether it's Rashad, whether it's anybody else, it doesn't matter. The outcomes have all been the same in basically the same fashion. The Machida fight. Look at the Machida fight. Yeah. Look at the Chael fight.
But I would have rather have seen a closer fight. If I want to see Chael fight, I want it to be closer. I want it to be like him fighting Shogun. And this is something that Derek and I talked about last week. It is a more of a winnable fight for Chael because he's not completely outclassed, which is what's been happening the last
fight?
3 of his last 4 fights.
No, his last fight.
You don't think he was completely outclassed in one of the Silva fights, he was completely outclassed.
I don't think so.
He won the first round.
I don't think he was. Yeah, I don't think he was outclassed by Anderson in any round but the ending. I'm going to pull a Joe Marquis. He won every round, but the round he didn't win.
That was kind of an important one.
Well, I understand, but I'm saying he was not dominated by Anderson Silva in either fight. And that's why I still believe that Chael is, and because he's not fighting, Anderson, I did lower him to 3 with Anderson being 1 and Weidman being 2. I still think he's one of the top middleweight fighters in the world, period.
Yeah.
And again, if you're looking at, and since Derek's not here, we can talk, rankings, we can talk pound for pound. Give me any middleweight fighter that you think would beat Chael Sonnen after, a training camp and whatever.
Oh, jeez.
It's not
really?
Training camp, it's practice.
Okay, practice.
He doesn't go to camp.
Okay,
he's
practice.
Not 10.
Practice. He's got the singlet on.
He does.
Exactly. That's my point. So, for people, and I'm not just saying you, but for anybody to get on Chael, He stepped up. He fought the light heavyweight champion. He got dominated like every other light heavyweight fighter Jon Jones has fought. So,
but it wasn't exciting to watch.
None of them are. Other than when he was in the armbar. Mm-hmm. Tell me any other Jon Jones fight that's been exciting. And it hasn't been exciting, kind of like the Anderson Silva thing, not because of Jon Jones, not because of Anderson Silva, because nobody is on Jon Jones's level. Nobody is on Anderson Silva's level.
Agreed.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, 100%.
And I don't mean to, gang up or whatever, but, I've heard that a lot about Chael, the fact that, he didn't get dominated by Anderson in any stretch of the imagination. At no time did he get dominated. Yes, he got dominated by Jon Jones. But go down the list of everybody that Jon Jones has fought, yeah. Including the person who beat Jon Jones, and Jon Jones dominated all of them.
Yeah, because that was a technicality.
Once again, to register to sit with Matt Hamill at the World Class Fight League on the 29th of June in Tampa, all you have to do is tweet. All you have to do is Facebook. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call. You will register. All I want to know is, of Matt Hamill's 4 losses, the record of the wins and losses, and I'll even throw this out to you because people like to give me crap. There is one tie. So you can either say it or not say it. I won't include it. Wins and losses of the 4 young men who defeated Matt Hamill. Easy enough, right?
It is.
Simple math. Quick question: Has Chael fought Vitor?
You guys are looking at
Sean.
Un minuto.
All right. So while we're doing that,
the music. There we go.
Ding, 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 ding. We're working on getting that whole setup here in the studio.
We should.
Now, once I have it, I still need to figure out how to hit the buttons at the right time and all that kind of stuff.
Timing is everything.
Yeah, definitely is. But that's Boston, correct?
Yes.
The Chael Shogun?
Vitor Chael?
Yes, that's the
the
headliner.
Shogun.
Shogun, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Shogun.
The main event to go along with Uriah Faber on the card as well.
I'm excited about that. How can you not ever be excited about Chael fighting 3 months from now? The build-up, he gets eyes.
No matter what. I mean, if you and this actually, I feel he is the best about getting the attention. And if you need somebody to quote unquote save a card, he's definitely a guy you look to. Big Country Nelson, I know you need a heavyweight, but would you say that he is a guy that would quote unquote save a card?
Absolutely. Yep. For many reasons. One, he'll talk his way. B, he'll fight his way. And people want to watch Roy Nelson fight. I do. I'd love watching the guy fight. Win, lose, or draw. That's a guy that I would keep around forever. Now it'll be interesting to see what happens after this fight this weekend with the contract being up. Do you think he leaves?
Where's he going to go?
He has to stay.
Is he looking for the money? Is he looking for, the title shot that he may get in another organization?
He wants to be in control.
Well, but
now he's going to be in control because he can say he can go wherever he wants, but I don't think he.
Well, he won't be.
He's going to use this to leverage.
He's going to try.
He's not going to have that control.
Right. There's no control. I mean, you can still threaten to leave Quentin Rampage Jackson and threaten to leave, and Zuffa's going to say bye. Where are you going to go? Bellator?
Hey.
Bellator on Friday nights?
On Friday nights. You do remember at one point, Big Country was sitting behind us at a fight.
I do know that.
And we had regular seats. It's not like it was media in the front row. So he knows where he came from. I think he'll be smart enough to leverage it in the right way.
I don't think he's even going to leverage it because if you saw the T-shirt that he made, the world's smartest man, I don't think that he's a very uneducated person. I think he is educated. I think he plays the game just as much as everybody else. And he's rolled with this whole thing of how much Dana dislikes him and he gets under Dana's skin. And
it's funny because he's fat. That's exactly what it is.
Well, that's a lot of it.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Haha. The 260-pound guy looks like an idiot. It's funny. He shows up to fight.
I don't think he goes anywhere.
Oh, I don't think so either.
And I don't want him to, because it's a guy that I do enjoy covering. It's a guy that I do enjoy watching.
And the answer is no. He has not fought the other TRT gentleman.
Yeah, I was going to. Yeah.
Now, I know you did some research today, so hopefully you remember some of the stuff that you typed up. But update our listeners on California and TRT.
Oh, okay. So they actually had a rule that was going through their state senate, whatnot, and there was a lawyer, a particular lawyer, whose name is, I have this written down somewhere, Michael Santiago. He works for the Department of Consumer Affairs, and he actually was pretty much the only one to question this particular rule, and the rule is designed to allow testosterone usage for sports, basically at the discretion of any commission. And that's just as a sort of a backup to any sort of laws that could be made in the past. He went in, questioned it, and now it is actually set up so there will be no TRT usage. There would be no TUEs allowed in the state of California until there is a specific law run through and approved specifically stating testosterone can be used. So no matter what, from now until this law is made, if it's ever made,
there's a law,
if it's ever made, there can be no TRT usage in any sport. So in this case, MMA.
I like it.
I like it too. And this particular article where I saw this, the individual who wrote it was taking some serious shots at the UFC and was saying basically that this is going to mess things up for the UFC because they want to have fighters using TRT because it adds to the show. Basically,
my head's ready to explode. Just so you know.
Okay.
This is a legislator. This is an attorney. This is a whatever. For the 412th time, it's not Zuffa's problem.
Right.
It's not Zuffa's issue. It's not Zuffa's laws. It has nothing to do. Zuffa can't tell a fighter you can't be on TRT. If it's legal to use in the state of Nevada, if it's legal to use in the state of California or Florida or wherever, Zuffa can't say you can't do it. That's the problem. It's not Dana White. It's not Zuffa. We need the legislators to do what they need to do, like they're doing in California, to not allow TRT in athletics or in combat sports or whatever, which I'm all for. And then it's up to the commission to, if you're on it, test for it and then not allow you to fight or penalize or do whatever. So to say that the UFC wants fighters on TRT, I know, and I've said it on this program numerous times, I know I'm naive. I know I believe everybody, which came to bite me yesterday. I know that I believe everybody is good and all that kind of stuff. I find it hard to believe that an organization wants fighters on TRT.
And I don't think we're going to see any changes made to future planning, because this particular author was also saying the UFC has two choices. You either avoid California altogether so you don't have to worry about your TRT users, or you have to accept it as, quote, the new reality and
there's ways
make changes within.
Again, there's ways around it. If in fact California passes this and you're not allowed blah, 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 then an organization, again, it's not fair to say Zuffa, organizations will handpick who they're going to have fight on those cards in California.
Just like allegedly Vitor Belfort out of the United States.
Or anybody now would not fight in California. What'll be interesting to see is if Nevada follows, then that's where it's going to get interesting, because everybody seems to follow the state of Nevada.
They are the most influential athletic commission in the United States. I'd say that's pretty evident. And actually probably the world. I'd even go that far. I know Brazil.
Mecca? Ooh, that's a good one. The Mecca of combat sports.
Sure, okay. I like it.
Yeah, see? Try it.
Well
But yeah,
done.
See what you're saying?
Yeah. So, and again, it's not the organization. It's not whoever, the WCFL or this or that. It's the sanctioning bodies. It's the commissions. It is.
And you notice that this never comes up, or at least I haven't heard it with other organizations. It's just the UFC.
Well, everybody's taking shots at the UFC because they're at the top. I mean, when you're on the top, you're going to have a target on your back. That's just the way it is. Haters going to hate.
That explains it.
There it is.
There you go.
Now I understand.
Not taking shots at
go.
Bellator.
No, I wasn't taking.
No. I'm saying them, the haters. They're not taking shots at Bellator. If any of those fighters are using TRT and whatever they're doing,
Right.
it's just the UFC because they see.
Well, and it's just like.
But it would be legal for them to do it as well. It would be legal for fighters in Bellator. It'd be legal for fighters in World Series of Fighting as long as you follow the proper whatevers and you file the paperwork and you do the things you're going to do. It is what it is.
Can the organization say it's not legal?
Yes, they can.
They're going to independently test.
I guess they can.
Independently test and say, no, you're not, even if it's legal in the state.
But you think an organization is going to, and I hate to say, with money and expenses, they're going to spend the money to police it like that?
No.
I'm just saying.
But I'm saying it's an option.
Well, I guess they can. An
they
employer
can be more stringent.
They could.
But they can't be less stringent. So it's not like California says it's illegal and X sanctioning body says, oh, yeah, don't worry about that. You can. You can be more stringent but not less stringent. So, and it's kind of like when I think it was Ben Askren was saying that Bellator fighters, or at least he, had not been tested but maybe one or two times, and just saying that Bellator fighters aren't tested as much. But again, that's not Bellator doing the testing. That's the commissions doing the testing.
All right, we're going to get back to that. We're going to get back to our giveaways. We're going to get back to a lot of things. Speaking of getting back, we're going to go back to the old school, and I'm really looking forward to this. It's like a tournament style. It's coming up on Friday. We talked a little bit about it at the beginning of the program, and let's welcome to the program. He's out in Tulsa getting ready. Road to Glory, James the Beast Wilson. James, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Appreciate your time. Talk to us a little bit about this tournament that's coming up at the Hardrock in Tulsa on Friday.
Yeah, so what we got going is a one-night refight tournament. It's going to be one champion of the night. It's pretty much the top U.S. kickboxers from all over the states. We all come together for one night, and, somebody's going to be crowned a champion.
Do you have to be careful in the first fight knowing that you have two more fights to go?
I mean, me personally, I'm kind of on the mindset where, you want to get the first two out quickly, don't get your shins beat up, and then, going into the final match, you can relax more and, pick what you want to do. But, I mean, it depends on each person. I'm in the business of getting over quick.
Yeah, I'm sure. The quicker the better. Do you already know who your first opponent's going to be? Is there already the ranking set up? Because I tried to find it online and I wasn't able to.
We actually are not going to know the lineup until the day of the weigh-ins. What they're going to do is they're going to draw the names from the hat, so everything is going to be completely random. We don't have no idea who we're going to go up against, so it's just go in there and do what you do, pretty much.
Do you like that? Is that an advantage or is it a disadvantage?
I mean, I like doing my homework with my opponents, so I kind of study each person a little bit, but I just don't know who I'm going to get at what particular time. So I think I'll be ready for whoever comes. So not a problem.
James, interesting how you said that, and obviously who the 8 are, and then there's the 2 alternates. Did you spend more time on certain guys, kind of researching and watching than others? Kind of guys that you're expecting to find?
Yeah. Some of the guys I know we fought on same cards back when we fought in K1, so I kind of know their style, so their tendencies. I'll kind of pay attention to them a little bit more than the rest of the guys, but, I'm good at adjusting to whoever gets in there. I'll figure it out quick. If if they throw something at me that I'm like, I don't know what they were doing on film, so I'm not worried.
We're on the phone with James the Beast Wilson. Fights this Friday in Tulsa, Road to Glory at the Hardrock. I believe it's on Spike, correct?
It will be live on Spike.
So we can watch the tournament. Have you already figured out your plans on how you're going to spend the $50,000?
It's actually 20. I wish it was 50. I don't know. I'm just going to put it in the bank. I got little ones. I got 3 little boys, so I'm just working on getting towards buying a house. So that's nothing crazy for me.
I got you. Now you're, I believe, 6-1-1 in kickboxing and undefeated in MMA. What's it like going back and forth? And do you think you would rather just concentrate on one discipline, or do you like going back and forth?
You know what? I prefer doing back and forth because doing the straight kickboxing Muay Thai style that when that goes over to MMA, I mean it's perfect. I mean the fact of the matter is a lot of guys, heavyweight guys at MMA, don't just stand and bang. They want to take you down. They want to wrestle, ground and pound. So I mean I love the fact that I could take that and transfer it over to my MMA fights. Works out perfectly.
Have you ever caught yourself in the middle of a kickboxing wanting to take your opponent down and you have to say, oh, hold on, that's not MMA today?
Absolutely. I throw a combination and it's just natural reaction. Throw something that they go on for the sweeper and takedown, but, I catch myself. So I've been pretty good so far. I'm not doing it yet.
I would say that would be funny to see. Yeah, I would say it would be funny to see, but I guess it really wouldn't be, right?
I mean, the crowd might like it.
How different is the training? Like, what difference, did you do for this fight than you would for an MMA fight? Obviously, you don't have to do all the ground stuff, but, what technically difference was there?
This basic technical work combinations with the striking, putting the striking and the kicks together. I mean, like this is one-dimensional pretty much. I don't have to worry about takedowns, so just focus on picking my shots, knowing what I want to throw, and make sure I'm in and everything with a kick. You know what I'm saying? It's kickboxing, so just putting that together, keeping it clean, keeping it crisp, and doing mad combinations, punches and bunches.
What's a perfect knockout for you?
I mean, that's like a trick question. Give away my secrets.
Oh, all right, then we won't. I don't want to ever give away secrets. I'm just, a lot of times people are like, oh, we already know that you want to get it over quick, but is it with the feet? Is it with the hands?
You know what people don't really expect, especially from a big guy, is a lot of kicks. You see a big guy, it's like, oh, he's just going to bang. He's going to try to punch me out. I got great legs, and I can easily put you to sleep with a head kick.
Before we let you go, talk to us how you got into mixed martial arts. I know you went to college, I believe, on a football scholarship. How did you go from football, to fighting?
It was kind of random. My whole life leading up to my early 20s was all about football. I was playing college ball. I was a starting running back, sort of a star player. So, and I played pro overseas, and once I stopped playing ball, I was like, this is something that I really want to do, and I had the time to do it now. And I remember telling my teammates in college, like, that's going to be me one day, on TV fighting, and I found a gym. My first discipline was Kempo and boxing, and I told them I wanted to do MMA, and we just put everything together, and, it just kind of took off, and going strong ever since.
And now we'll get to watch you on Spike TV. And again, I'm looking forward to it with it being the tournament style. Do you like the tournament style?
I do. It's old school. It's like, this is how you test the heart right here. 3 fights in one night. You might be beat up coming out of the first round. Out of the first fight, you got to suck it up and you got to keep going. So, I like it. I like to see where everybody's heart is.
James, I like how you said that, and it's not necessarily can you get in and out of the fight, uninjured, unbanged up. It's can you come back for the second fight or the third fight and being banged up. And do you like that somebody like an alternate could then just walk right in and maybe get in the finals without even fighting?
Well, I mean, yeah, that is a huge possibility, but I don't think they're going to be as prepared as we are. We back there and we know we're going in. They're just kind of in the wind, so it doesn't make any difference for me. It could be an alternate jumping there, and I'm going to do the same thing I'm going to do to anybody else.
Sure. Now, when the drawing, the drawing, I guess, will be at the weigh-in, is it the first 2 names come out will be the first fight? Is that how they're going to do it?
I'm not sure exactly how they're going to place the lineup. I just know that the names that they're going to draw, that's who's going to be going against each other, and then I think from there, they'll choose what guy from which bracket that wins is going to face each other. So I'm kind of unsure right now. Once I find out who the first fight is, and then we just roll from there.
And I don't want to put more stuff into your head. You need to worry about fights and stuff. But have you thought about, do you want the first fight? Do you want the third fight? Or does it not really even matter?
I kind of like just get it going. Let's just get it going. I hate the waiting around. I've been to main events on a lot of cars, and I really don't like that, just sitting in the back just waiting. I like to let's just do it. Let's get it on. Let's get it going. That's sort of my style, my preference. And
speaking of which, I can't wait to get it on. I got to be careful of the words so that John McCarthy and Mills Lane don't come after me. You got to be real careful. So I can't wait for Friday. How do people follow you? I believe you're on Twitter, correct?
Correct. Everybody can follow me at James Wilson MMA on Twitter, and on my Facebook is James the Beast Wilson, and also my website at www.jameswilsonmma.com.
If our social guys here in the building can get all that stuff out for us as well. Before we let you go, not that you're thinking ahead, not that you're thinking past Friday, but what's next? What would you like to happen next to you?
You know what? I want to venture into everything. One thing that I haven't done yet is just straight boxing. That's something that I would like to tap into. I'm already doing kickboxing. I'm already, undefeated in MMA. I would like to just do straight boxing, see how that will work out for me.
Well, we'll have to get you on before that fight as well. James, thank you very much for your time, and best of luck to you on Friday.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you.
This is a UFC Bantamweight champion, Dominic Cruz. Watch The Ultimate Fighter live this Friday on FX.
I am Salties.
Can you imagine Salties? Imagine a place that becomes something absolutely unforgettable.
Sustainable seafood from icy waters of the Pacific Northwest.
Salties is sweet coconut-crusted prawns.
Salties is live Dungeness crab.
The finest USDA prime steak.
With perfectly paired wine.
Your life is our celebration.
Your table is waiting at Salties.
Go to Salties.com and make your reservation today. Salties, Alki Beach, Redondo Beach, and Columbia River.
You missed Salties?
Absolutely.
It was phenomenal.
That's not fair.
It was really good.
At Salties on July 28th, we are going to do a meet and greet. Come on out, hang out, brunch at Salties. Melvin Gilliard is going to be there. We may have another fighter or two. We're going to give away where two people are going to get to come and eat with Melvin. And I know it's not a big deal, but I'll be there eating as well.
You'll be eating everything.
Surprised?
No.
Absolutely not.
Anybody? What are you watching? Soccer?
Nothing. No.
That was last night.
That was last night.
That was impressive. Moving right along.
You okay?
How you doing, Frank?
Hey, what was that? Yeah, you
well
are.
Done.
I apologize for that. I mean, I can't hear myself because I'm out of program. That way, like when I talk to you guys, everybody doesn't hear it. So I can count you down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blah, blah, blah.
That whole stuff.
That old gag.
Well, hopefully it was funny.
It was kind of funny. You catching Sean watching the soccer game there.
Yeah, all
There's
these
nothing
guys,
on. No, not yet.
all these guys are supposed to be talking MMA and combat sports and even some wrestling, but instead I won't even say what Wegs is watching, but Sean's over there watching soccer.
Can you look at my biceps?
And yeah, that's what he's watching. He's watching bodybuilding stuff. Poses.
I'm studying.
I try to keep my mic off as often as possible because you guys make me laugh too much. I'd be interrupting the show all the time.
Well, we appreciate the feedback.
My pleasure.
All right, so you guys going to watch that on Friday?
DVR.
All right, so let me rephrase it. Will you watch that fight?
Yeah.
Whether it's DVR or whether or not?
I'll watch it.
I would only watch it, honestly, because it's the tournament. I don't know if I would, stand in front of or sit in front of a TV to watch this event or boxing in general or whatever. I like the tournament. I think the tournament is awesome. I liked it back then, and I like it now.
Yeah, you don't see it now, so it's got that unique feeling again.
Here's the question. Does someone who start in the first round win it, or does an alternate take it?
Do we need to research who all these guys are?
I'm taking an alternate.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take somebody who starts.
Okay.
I guess I'm the tiebreaker then, right?
Obviously, there's only 3 of us here.
Derek, I need you to call in right now. 855-483-6646. Anybody call in. I will go with an alternate
That's right.
Sorry.
The odds are in our favor.
I think the only way an alternate wins is if it's 2 alternates in the finals.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know if I like a guy he's not warmed up. Was he going to have to warm up the whole time? I mean, like the old UFC days, you really didn't know until, just before.
Until showtime.
So unless you're back there.
No, I say an alternate would have a good shot, actually.
You don't have to prep for the first round.
Or the second.
Yeah.
Well, you never know about the second.
Well, no, I'm saying what happens if you get hurt in the second, then you walk right into the finals.
Boom.
Like what happened in that I don't want to call it fakery, but back in, what was it, UFC 11?
Yeah, you calling the Mark Coleman victory a fakery?
I don't even remember it being a fight. Wasn't it like an exhibition?
It was his trainer that he fought.
Right. So it was more like an exhibition.
He gave it to him, but yeah. It was a demonstration.
An exhibition. But the tournaments are cool because you have to be careful. You want to go all out, but like James said, you don't want to take extra, shins or this or that because you got 2 more. I love tournaments. I wish it would come back. No, yes, something?
No.
You don't like tournaments?
No.
Why?
Just really doesn't appeal. I mean, you want to see a bunch of different guys fight, not the same guy 3 times.
All right, let's put a make-believe tournament.
Okay.
Now, when you're going to do the tournament, and again, let's go back to old days. So it's not a roster of 612. Really, I think it's more. I think the UFC has a roster bigger than that. But, it's the top 8 guys. It's 6 of the top 12 guys.
Because you're going to look at the tournament and what could be, and then when it doesn't happen, you're disappointed. When you see the fight card, you know that fight's going to happen, more than likely, and you're good.
But in a tournament, that's not the case. In the tournament, you just know the first matchups.
You know your brackets.
You know the
where they
brackets.
start.
So you know if this guy wins and this guy wins, just like Bellator, when you set it up for King Mo against, whoever.
There was Babalu
in the final, and it doesn't happen. Now you're not going to watch it because it's all messed up.
I think in a tournament, if you're having those fights like that, you won't necessarily get the best out of each person for each fight.
Some truth to that.
So if you have just a straight up one card, each guy fights once, hopefully you're going to get the absolute best from each fighter, and it's going to be a more exciting fight because each one is going to be able to perform.
Some truth to that.
And not saying that I don't like Bellator because of what they do. At least this one, you watch the fight, and like Wegs said, you're going to get 100% out of the next fight out of whoever wins.
In the Bellator type of tournament.
Because they get a month off, they're going to train, they're going to go back, watch film, and be prepared for who they're going to fight.
If it's all the same day, that's tough.
No, you're right. I didn't look at it that way. It would be a different fight. You may not go balls to the wall. You may not, be able to go all out. Then again, you may go all out, like James said, to try to end it early. So
how does that change your game plan for the next fight? Or do you miss the next fight because you were trying to play it safe and you end up getting taken out?
I didn't think of it that way. 855-483-6646. And Frank, my apology. I blew it. It just hit me. So I'll take the blame for that one. I'm giving the blame anyway numerous times on Twitter. How about the old postsharesell.com van that's getting done?
I saw the billboard today.
There's billboards everywhere.
I drove by. I just looked at it and go, wait a minute. That looks familiar.
I know them.
There it is. I believe it was US 19 or 34th Street, depending on where you are in St. Petersburg.
In Pinellas County. They are going everywhere, and they are providing a van for Knockout Radio.
Transportation. I
Transportation.
like it. Do we have a driver, too?
So that means we get picked up if we're going to Hooters on 4th Street?
Matter of fact, Hooters on 4th Street Saturday night, where we'll be with Matt Hamill, allegedly. Right. Scheduled
to appear.
855-483-6646. We're going to my home state of Pennsylvania. Randy, how are you? You there?
Oh,
just kidding.
Nope.
He got scurred.
Yeah, sorry, we had him, Randy.
No problem. He got scurred.
Yeah.
Frank scared him off.
Can the other Randy from Pennsylvania who just call back? Please. Thank you.
Will the real Randy from Pennsylvania please stand up?
That would be me. I'm standing.
He's probably been in Philly more hours than you.
Yes.
Let me think about that. Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
probably.
Just saying.
I'd have to figure it out.
Did you see the
31 years today, by the way.
I know. Congratulations.
Congratulations. I did see that. That's pretty impressive.
So last week he spends
Yeah.
a week off, but on his anniversary he's in the studio doing
Working.
a show. Attaboy.
The wife goes, all right, now for our 31st anniversary, we're going to go, let's go to dinner. Let's go. I go, I can't. I got the show.
Sorry, honey. I'm working. Ugh.
Yep. So, go ahead. You had a question.
Have you seen the Twitter traffic about Mark Hunt and his surgeries and the issues he's having since the fight? He has a gigantic hole in his left leg now. He had a staph infection. He had bruising inside his leg, turned into a staph infection, and it looks like they took a gigantic cookie cutter and took out the outside of his calf.
Is there a picture of that? I got to find.
There is.
I'm glad I didn't eat today.
It's actually a video.
Really?
Yeah, he has his phone or camera or whatever, and he's
filming it.
He is filming it. He is holding it, and they have it covered up at first, and he's talking to the fans he's sending this out to, and then they take the covering off of his leg, and boom, there's a hole, and you're looking inside his leg. It is one of the nastiest things I have ever seen in my life.
Oh, my Lord.
Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, it is nasty. And he's very blasé about it. He's just, hey, guys, this is what's happening, blah, blah, blah. Hole, and I'm going to try to get better soon.
Oh.
It's pretty nasty.
I appreciate the video.
It didn't ruin the tattoo either.
No, he's lucky they missed it. I thought about that.
Really? They went around the tattoo?
No, it just misses it, but it definitely looks like a cookie cutter.
Yeah, it's just a punch right out of the outside of his leg. You're looking right at it.
Yep, that is nasty.
If you haven't checked it out, go to Mark Hunt's. You found it on his Twitter?
Yeah.
So just go to his Twitter page and make sure you're not around food, because that you'll definitely not be eating.
So what exactly is a staph infection? Do you have...
I don't know it off the top of my head. I know it's nasty. You get it... you have an open wound and it doesn't get cleaned. You can get a staph infection. It's very, very common in athletes. I am kind of surprised that it happened with an internal bruise, because you wouldn't think it would have a chance to get in the first place. But somehow it was introduced into the bruising and the blood and went from there. And so they actually had to cut it out of his leg.
It is pretty serious, right? You could lose a limb. You could die.
Yeah, technically speaking, you can die. Usually it's not going to go that far, because hopefully you're paying enough attention to your health and your body. You're not going to let it get that far. But, I mean, you can have things amputated. You can obviously have a pretty serious hole taken out of you, so make sure you clean your wounds.
Use Defense soap.
I did see that tweeted today about it does prevent or help to prevent.
It's supposed to help.
Help to prevent.
Right. You know, and the thing about it, and we already knew about it, the whole Hunt story and how Zuffa kind of told him to go away. We're going to pay you to go away, and he refused. How do you not like a guy like that? You know, there's a lot of people in sports and in everyday life that would be, okay, cool. I'll take it. Don't ever call me again.
Yeah, giving me money to not do anything. Sure.
But,
Sweet deal, but yeah.
But he didn't. He refused it. He wanted to continue to fight. He wanted to, so.
Well, and then it got to the point where he was having the visa issues, and the UFC came to his aid. They were helping him out, sort through everything. So, I mean, I can see where they would want to, because they have the investment in him, because they need him to show up for the fight, even though you were saying you hoped he didn't go.
Not that I didn't want him there. I wanted Roy Nelson.
He wanted Roy Nelson to save the card.
I don't think he needed to.
No, but you would be more interested in that fight. And of the two, you would pay money to see the...
All right, let's don't get crazy. Let's don't get crazy.
Of the two, you would pay money to see that one. If you had to pick the two.
Pay money?
Well, and that's
Seriously?
why I said, let's don't get overly crazy.
If he had to.
Right.
He always makes the comment that if he had to pay to watch one NFL player, it's Brett Favre. He can say that now because it's never going to happen.
Again.
For the fourth time.
Well, again, he could come back in a senior league or something. But if I had to pay, and I'm not even saying media wise. I if I had to,
you were there anyway.
But I'm saying, I'm spoiled. I've been around sports my whole life, so I haven't bought a whole lot of tickets, and I probably won't.
Never will.
But I could see myself paying money to watch a Roy Nelson fight.
You would pay the $54.99.
I didn't say that.
No, before
I'd get enough people together, and we'd all chip in $3.50.
I would say I forgot my money.
Well, you're good at that. But I enjoy watching Roy Nelson fight.
I really want to see Mark Hunt, Roy Nelson. I want to see that fight.
That'd be a good fight.
Yeah.
I don't know any fight that I wouldn't want to see really either one of them fight in because of the style that they fight. So it wasn't necessarily a dig on Mark Hunt.
Right, yeah.
It was just I would rather see Roy Nelson fight today, tomorrow, and next week. And it just so happens his opponent will be on in about 35 minutes.
Right.
So, and what a difference, and we're going to ask him about it, going from a guy that's had one UFC fight to a guy that's had, 9 or 10?
Sorry, what?
I lost you both?
Yeah.
No, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Miocic going from fighting a fairly inexperienced UFC
fighter. Got it.
To big country, former, he was an IFL champion.
He was the IFL champ.
Tough champ.
Yep.
Somebody who's been around the block for a while.
He went from being the favorite to being the heavy underdog.
Yeah.
Well,
and an important fight for him coming off a loss.
Was it on the undercard before, and now it's been bumped up to the main card with the addition of Roy Nelson?
I don't know.
So pardon my ignorance.
Sure.
Who was the fighter that was forced to pull out?
The Hulk.
Yes.
Was it Soa? Oh, that's right. Soa Palele.
Who had one UFC fight, and again, now I'm using all my material that I was going to use later, but 5.5 years ago, his only UFC fight.
Still had fought there before.
He had fought there, but it's been 5.5 years.
It
and
has
again,
been a while.
We've talked about this numerous times, and I've always said I will take a Zuffa fighter. I didn't even say that, so let me correct myself. I'll take a UFC fighter. I like to always say Zuffa because that's who owns it, but in this case, I would say the UFC fighter over a Strikeforce fighter, and I've always said that. But it has to be somebody that's been in the UFC like now. Hulk was in it 5.5 years ago. To me, that's not a UFC fighter anymore. He's been out so long. So to go from a former UFC fighter, even though he's a good fighter, to now fighting somebody that's coming into, I believe, like I said, it's his 10th fight. This will be his 10th UFC fight in about the same amount of time.
Well, and we've had plenty of UFC Hall of Famers on.
Plenty.
And
I think we've had almost every one of them.
Yeah, probably. And correct me if I'm wrong, but most, if not all of them, whenever they've been asked
never had a voice on live,
is it the same?
Right.
Then to now, all of them say, it's a completely different sport. So it makes sense how you can say it's changed over the last 5 years.
Which is interesting that you said that because that's one of the questions that I'm going to throw at Josh Burkman. The fact that this fight, everybody keeps saying, and again, I will say it to Josh Burkman in about 5 or 10 minutes or so, he fought Fitch so long ago, it shouldn't really even come into play, and I'm sure he's going to say that, but everybody continues to bring that up, as will I, but you can't really take anything from a fight that happened so long ago. Fitch is different, Burkman's different.
Right, yeah, Fitch then wasn't one of the top 10 welterweights.
I don't think he was anything. I think it was almost a gimme, and I would imagine that Josh was probably favored for that fight. And like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure that he's not favored on Friday.
No, and if you heard him talk about it on the conference call last Thursday, he was definitely saying that. He definitely feels like he's the underdog in this whole thing.
Before we hit the break, you were in on that conference call.
I was.
Tell us anything surprising, anything out of the ordinary?
The most surprising statement for me out of that entire call was from Jon Fitch. He specifically said that it was asked of him sort of what his plans were now that he's with World Series of Fighting. This is his first fight, but it was in the question, it was said that he probably didn't have too many fights left. And he corrected the guy and said, well, I do feel like I'm going to fight for a while longer. I don't plan on retiring anytime really soon. 35 now. He wants to fight till at least 40, and if he can do that and stay healthy enough, he would contemplate using TRT at that point to continue to be able to perform at a high level to put food on the table for his family.
How do I want to respond to that one?
Wow.
It's legal.
It's legal as long as you go through the right process and everything. So that was by far the statement that hit the most for me.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. 855, I already forgot the number.
483-6646.
If you want to pick up the phone, we will be back on the other side. Coming up, Josh Burkman. We're going to head up to Winnipeg. Going to give away some prizes. We got some UFC shirts still to give away, which we will also do at Hooters on Saturday night for the UFC. Second hour coming up next.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to second hour Knockout Radio. In studio with Randy and Sean K at Radio.
No, it's just Sean. Remember, we had the discussion. That's my Twitter name.
Oh, sorry.
And it's not the same.
So you guys can't say the Onion ever again.
Well, it's your nickname.
No, it is.
That's
absolutely not.
You don't go like, when you go out there, you're like, I'm Alex the Onion Weghorn. You don't promote yourself as that.
Absolutely not.
We can give you a nickname and just roll with it.
Shut your mouth.
When is this bodybuilding thing?
14 weeks
I'm
out.
I'm never telling you.
He's 14 weeks
Never?
out.
Oh, by the way.
StPeteMuscleman.com.
I really don't know what's going to happen on Friday, but I received a phone call earlier today, and it was very evasive. But my buddy told me to expect a call on the Friday show, okay, about something major. That's all I know.
You tweeted something about that.
I did say that.
I don't know what it is. It's not me playing games. He wouldn't tell me anything. He said that if he releases anything, that either the contract will be ripped up or...
So I guess you can't say who
like the Tim Sylvia
it was
contract,
that told
right?
you either.
Exactly. So I know nothing other than the fact that something is going to happen between 2 and 3 on Friday's show about something fairly major
There's going to be
with an MMA fighter.
And they are calling in?
And the fighter, from what I was told, will be calling in the Friday show.
They do know that this is 2 to 3 Eastern time.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Just want to double check because it has been that.
So knockoutradio.com.
You can tune in, knockoutradio.com, WTAN, Tan Talk Radio Network.
The TuneIn Radio app.
The TuneIn Radio app.
There you go.
All of that stuff. So I wish I knew. And a lot of times you guys give me crap because I play these games and word games and stuff.
Yes, you do.
I really don't know what's going to happen on Friday. Just like I really don't know what's going to happen next, because on the line with us right now is the future governor, Josh Burkman. Josh, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I like that you guys picked up on the kind of nickname. We had that on back of a couple shirts. So, future governor.
Oh, shirts are already out. So you're getting ready. What is it, 20-something?
2024.
Okay, so 20.
We got a while. 2016, I'm going to run for county council. I'll spend 2 terms in county council, and then I'll run for governor.
I know that we're supposed to talk about your big fight because it's absolutely huge, but I don't know if I want to thank you or be upset that I watched the video that came out, that was put out by the World Series of Fighting, because now I want to move and be your next door neighbor.
Right. I live in a beautiful place. I'm glad that people got to see it a little bit, because it's, that tranquility definitely transitions over to helping me stay peaceful, and all good martial artists need that, right?
No, absolutely. I'm not sure I've ever seen a cooler place, the cabin kind of house. Josh goes into his ice tub, which is the stream in his backyard.
Nice.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. That's, I live right at the bottom of that canyon, so that, and the river comes down and comes past our house, and that's what we got. It's really just a nice little cabin that sets in on an acre and a half. And we're very lucky to find that property in the area that it's in, and we've definitely enjoyed our time there.
Like I said, I thought that
it's a great place. You know what I mean? Utah really is. I've lived in Vegas, Oregon, everywhere. I seem to always go back home, and now I'm home. Got my roots set, my fight team around me. Things are good.
So let's talk a little bit about the upcoming fight and how things are different for you now than it has been in the past.
Well, I've said this a few times over the last few days, but the biggest difference in me now is that, early in my career I was a fighter, and the definition of fighting is to struggle, and that's kind of what I made my career. It was up and down, and the reason for that was my level of focus. I was very focused once I would get a fight, and then I would spend 6 to 8 weeks training for a fight. But after the fight, I would lose that focus, and I would go the exact opposite, and that was my balance in life. To where now, I take my job very seriously. I'm more of a martial artist now, and to me that means getting better all the time. Now I'm not just training for fights; I'm training to be the best that I can be, and I think that's helped me turn around my career and after my injury and why I'm where I'm at, being able to face a top 10 guy in the world in Jon Fitch.
So when you're training, I'm assuming it's in Utah around that lovely property that that you own and the lovely family that you have. Talk to me for a second, because I argue with the guys in the studio about this. I say you don't have to get away from your home surroundings to be able to train, to be able to be focused, and I'm going to assume that you're going to agree with me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think for fighters it's different. It depends on your family life. If you're single and you party in your own town, then you might want to get away from it. But for me, my family is a huge part of who I am and my success in my everyday life. My wife, she supports me and takes care of me, and so why would I want to leave that? Like, my wife is the best cook and just makes me better at everything that I do. And I could never. My son's growing and needs his dad around. I could never leave for 6 weeks or 9 weeks at a time, but I'm lucky to have a wife that understands what I do and, support me in that. I don't know that everybody has that, but if you have that, then I don't think that you'd want to leave it,
Sure. We're on the phone with
Josh.
Josh.
When I was younger, it was the opposite, My town was a distraction to me, and so I would try to leave so that I could be focused and go up and get away from things in Big Bear and things like that, So I think every fighter is different, and they just got to kind of change it to what works best for them.
Definitely makes sense. Before I ask you about the upcoming fight with Jon Fitch, and I hate to say a rematch, but it is, and we'll get to that. As I watched that video, you were talking about the onesie, but you never really said where the onesie came from.
So the one piece is, I got the inspiration from my little boy. I was dressing my little boy, putting him in his pajamas at night, and I told my wife, I'm like, I have got to get a one piece. So she did some research and she found them. They had some like corny ones and some cheesy ones all over, but she found them on a website in Norway, and basically a bunch of college kids got drunk and said, we need one pieces, and they sewed sweats to their hoodies, and it turned into their business, and their business is onepiece.com, and that's where I get them from, and they're the best. I mean, especially for weigh-ins, like you underneath, you got your shorts on, you unzip your onesie, jump out, step on the scale, put it back on. You're nice and you're tired, you're depleted. You don't want to worry about putting on pants and a shirt and a belt, and it just makes life easy. It makes sense. And now I tell everybody, when they're like, what is that? I'm like, oh, this is a 21st century ninja suit.
That's awesome. All right, let's talk about the main event, World Series of Fighting in Las Vegas. And I know you've probably talked about this so much, you're sick of talking about it, but it's sort of a rematch, but it's so long ago. Do you not even think about it as being a rematch with Jon Fitch?
Why it was so long ago, and it is a rematch, to me, because Jon Fitch, he beat me. So early in the camp, that was kind of that motivation behind it. Getting started was that I get a chance to avenge a loss. And as an athlete and as a competitor, I'm very excited to be able to avenge a loss, a mark on my record. With that being said, it's not the two same fighters fighting each other, though. There's been 7 years that have passed, and so in that sense, I mean, it's a pretty interesting matchup where Jon Fitch is trying to prove that he's still one of the best in the world in our weight class, that he's, been up there for a lot of years, and I'm trying to prove that I deserve to be up there. So we're definitely fighting for different things now, but, at the end of the day, Jon Fitch beat me and I get a chance to avenge a loss. So, I'm excited about that too.
Now, Josh, you say you're definitely excited about avenging the loss, but also during the conference call last Thursday, it was addressed multiple times how basically the winner of this fight is going to be on tap for the first belt the World Series of Fighting is going to have in their promotion. How much does that add to it, considering all the other motivation you already had?
That's why I say that, the avenging the loss was the motivation early in the camp. But now it's just, I'm grateful for the opportunity I have to face a competitor like Jon Fitch, who's been through the fights that he's been through and, is still one of the top fighters in the world in our weight class. So that's my motivation, is to be able to work myself back into that welterweight mix up top. And then with the welterweight, the belt being in the mix. Now that's what I thought should have happened in the first place. I thought Jon Fitch should have came in, beat somebody up, solidified himself in our organization, and me and him should have fought for the title down the road. The organization told the fans the fight was going to happen, and they wanted to make it happen. So, now I got to beat Jon Fitch to get to that belt, and that's what I'm planning on doing.
Not to give anything away, just in case Jon Fitch is tuning in or anything, but, what are your thoughts on the fight? Are there certain things that you think you need to do or stay away from?
Well, I think that we all kind of know who and how Jon Fitch fights. So I just can't, I think, I can't be making mistakes that put him in good positions. That's the main part of my game plan, is just, to come out there and don't make mistakes that help him, get to where he wants to get. And besides that, I'm comfortable on my feet. Jon Fitch is comfortable on his feet. I'm comfortable in the clinch. He's comfortable in the clinch. We're both, comfortable on the ground in any positions that we're in. So, it's an interesting matchup. I think we're both, very well-rounded, and it's just a matter of who can impose their will on the other one, and in the fight, I think we'll both be able to figure that out, because I have a lot of respect for Jon Fitch. He creates a very challenging problem, and I'm looking forward to getting in there and trying to figure that problem out.
Well, Josh, and we are on the phone with Josh Burkman as we talking about World Series of Fighting main event of first Jon Fitch. And since you kind of called me out on the way I said it, let me ask you this. Do you feel an added responsibility to make this fight exciting?
I think, I haven't had a lot of boring fights in my career. I just think, God blessed me with the gifts of being athletic, and, I think my personality is just kind of aggressive personality, and I think that, my training just kind of, I don't feel like I have to go out and be exciting. I don't feel like I need to try to go out and be explosive, and I don't even have to make a fight happen. I think I just go out there, and get comfortable, and I'll make exciting things happen just with the way that, the way that I train, my personality, and the gifts God gave me. So with that being said, I always like to be in an exciting fight. I'm an artist, and I want to make things look good. And that's always, part of what drives me.
Has Josh Burkman, the fighter, had any disagreements, arguments with Josh Burkman, the manager?
No, I mean, I'm the best manager I've ever worked with. We get along very well. We got the same thoughts on a lot of things. So, managing myself is something that, I've been through a lot of different managers, and, not a lot, a couple. And it just seems that I really enjoy this business. And I was talking to my coach about this earlier. I like the business of martial arts. I like meeting the different companies, and nobody can sell yourself better than you, So I've been lucky to get businessmen in Utah to get behind me and help me out. But at the end of the day, I like to build my contacts, hold on to my contacts, and build those relationships. And then not only, some fighters get so focused and too intense. So managing myself and then having to keep my sponsors in line and my career in line, it helps give me balance in my career. So I don't mind. I don't mind it. I get along. The fighter and the manager both get along pretty good and seem to work together well.
Now, I'm in no way implying that this is any time in the near future, but do you see yourself as a full-time manager later on down the road?
No, I have no interest in turning into a manager. Or, we have a lot of up-and-comers at the Pit Elevated, and I like to help the guys, and I like to give them contacts. But I'm after fighting for me is to set a stage. It really is, and I feel like this is kind of like that rite of passage in my life, you know. And next, I'll try to move in a direction of leading people and taking care of people, and that'll be more of a political trail for me, you know. And a lot of that work will be through setting up community centers and just helping people live a more focused and healthy life. And that's where that's where fighting will. It's kind of, you know, a rite of passage, and it'll set a stage for me to go into the next phase of my life. Which is why I'm so focused right now in my career, is because when this is all said and done, I want to look back at my fight career and go, I gave it everything I got. I was good as I could have been, and be able to, you know, walk away from the sport with my head held high.
Josh, let me ask you this real quick. The fact that people always say that, you know, you want to get to the UFC, you want to get back to the UFC, but correct me if I'm wrong, you and your manager just signed a new fight agreement with World Series of Fighting.
Yeah. So when I got the fight with Fitch, or when they, you know, said, hey, you're fighting Jon Fitch pretty much, I asked for it to be they wanted to be for the title. And, or I wanted to be for the title. And, you know, we renegotiated. They said, Josh, we want this fight to happen. We're not ready to give out a belt. What do we got to do to make it happen? And I said, well, this is what I want. And they said, all right, we're going to, you know, we'll do it. You just got to sign a new 4-fight deal. And I was very excited about the deal. You know, World Series of Fighting, it's a unique stage for a fighter because it's an upstart promotion. And I feel like, you know, the better that I do, the better the fighters do, the better the organization does. And the better the organization does, the better the fighters do. And in that, there's a huge opportunity for fighters. And I'm you know, great risks have great rewards, and I'm planning on sticking around here helping the organization, and I'm sure that will come back to me down the road.
You mentioned how
I'm trying to be the Dr. J of the NBA. You know what I mean? I'm trying to. He brought the ABA up by himself because of what he did, and I really, you know, am expecting that of myself. You know, I'm expecting to prove that I'm better than I've ever been, and I'm as good as anybody. And that's my goal, and that's what I'm out to prove. And all I need is a stage to prove it on, and World Series of Fighting is my stage right now.
So if you're now Governor Julius Erving, does that mean that you're going to grow the afro?
You know, in all truth, the head is shaved because the hair doesn't grow.
Well, then we'll have to get a wig for you or something. Before we let you go, I always like you know, to offer, you know, to the fighter or whatever to talk about your sponsors, to talk about, you know, the things that have made your life a little bit easier and enabled you to have that awesome house. And I'm going to go watch that video again, you know, as soon as the show's over, and to kind of thank the people that have made life a little bit easier for you.
Well, number one, I want to, you know, thank my family. You know, mainly my wife. And, you know, she does a lot to help me so that I can manage myself. You know, she deals with emails and does so much for me that helps me and makes it easy for me to do it. You know, and she just, like, you know, without my family, I wouldn't be me. So with that being said, and my wife's birthday is the day after my fight. So I got to make this go well so I can give her a nice birthday present. So, you know, with that, you know, everybody at Pit Elevated, we have a great fight team there, a lot of up-and-comers. Our coach is Jason Mertlich, and he kind of oversees things, and that's why there's so much good talent coming up from there. You know, and I always like to give him the props and that he deserves. And then, you know, one main sponsor that I have, you know, I'm a veteran. I spent some time in the military, and it's VA Mortgage Leaders. And, you know, there's a lot of veterans that don't understand the benefits they have for getting a home and getting their families in a home. So, you know, I always tell veterans to go to VA Mortgage Leader and try to use that loan. You know, they worked hard for it and they deserve to get it. And besides that, thanks you guys. You know, World Series of Fighting, this has got a lot of media and a lot of hype behind it, and I think a lot of that's due to, you know, just these different MMA outlets, including you guys. So thanks for having me, and thanks for pubbing this fight. Support World Series of Fighting. It's good for the sport.
I agree with you about the mortgage. As a veteran, I wouldn't have been able to get my house many years ago if it wasn't for the VA. And also in your clip, you said how, and I believe in karma, and you said that you're undefeated since being married, correct?
Yeah, you know, I haven't lost since I got married. You know, marriage works. And, you know, especially when your wife supports you and loves you and wants to see you do better. And, you know, I have a wife that does that for me and wants to just see me be better. And, you know, when you have that, when you have a teammate like that, it just makes you better at what you do in life. And I'm lucky I definitely married up, you know, and I'm lucky she waited for me.
Very, very funny that you said that, and the reason that I brought it up is karma and everything comes together, and you're undefeated since being married, and today is my 31st anniversary. I also married up, so I think maybe some of that is going to, push over, and I wish you a lot of luck on Friday.
Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I'll be talking to you guys after the fight.
We definitely will. Josh Burkman, everybody, I appreciate it. We will watch you on TV, 855-483-6646.
It's time. My 360 view of the UFC. The upcoming autobiography from Bruce Buffer. Bruce peels back the curtain for a look like no other into the life of one of the most famous voices in combat sports history. It's time. My 360 view of the UFC.
If you're hearing these words, chances are that you, like me, are a fan of the great sport we call mixed martial arts. I'm that guy you see at every UFC match, roaring into the microphone. Yeah, I might not be the most subtle or refined announcer in the business, but I hope I communicate my passion for the sport in a way no other announcer does.
Pre-order your copy today at Amazon.com or BufferZone.net. Available May 14th.
So apparently...
Thank God Derek wasn't here.
Right, no kidding. So apparently you taught yourself to read over the weekend because you had
You should have seen him. Oh, my God.
There was actually a picture, I believe it was on Twitter even, of you reading It's Time.
I didn't finish it, which is why Bruce is not going to be on tonight, because I need to finish the book first.
Right.
But
makes sense.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I read more than anybody anticipated.
Yes. There was not a TV.
Oh, I was surprised you actually took it with you.
He always takes, no matter what the book is that he gets in, for whether it's a Wednesday interview or a Friday interview, he always takes it with him. Does he crack it open?
Do you try to learn by osmosis? Is it one of the things you put it under your pillow and try to
read the back page?
I don't enjoy reading. Sue me. I don't enjoy it. But, the book was not bad. I mean, at first, I like bios anyway.
You should have seen the pictures. I looked at the pictures of the book.
I didn't even get to the pictures yet. I didn't go to the pictures right away. I started at the very first page. I started to read it. And you guys are going to give me crap. And thank God he's not here, because I would be given even more crap.
Oh, no. He'll give you crap when you finish it.
Well, so far I've enjoyed it.
Statement.
So far I thought it was pretty cool.
Do you mind if I borrow it?
Is there a little synopsis? Do you have anything of the first 8 pages that you've read?
Why are you such a dick?
Sorry. Okay, you probably read like 58 pages.
I might have read a little bit more, but
That's generous.
It kind of started with him going to school and he was getting beat up, and
I could have never imagined that.
And I hope he beats the shit out of you. I really do. All you guys talk crap. Like I've always said,
this is great.
It really, the thing that bothers me, here's the thing that bothers me. The thing that bothers me is...
What bothers you?
This bothers me. That people haven't even met certain people.
I've met the guy.
And you didn't like him from when you met him?
He was a nice guy, but I still think it's a little ridiculous.
What is?
Everything he does. Just
what? What?
Just his
everything.
His aura. His personality.
He certainly has an aura.
Maybe the way he goes about it.
Yeah.
But he's one of the coolest guys. He's down to earth. I'm not that
popping bottles and kissing models. Well, the wife of Bruce Buffer.
That's what he says. Screw you all.
That's fantastic.
Actually, he didn't say that. Wow. The magazine did, but still.
What was that?
Fighters Only. Yeah.
Fighters Only? That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I think I saw him. I never got a chance to actually be around him or talk to him. I did see him walking through. What was that? That was Anaheim.
Out in Anaheim.
The second time.
Right.
God. I know JDS was there. I met JDS. God, I can't remember what card that was.
I don't remember. It was so long ago. I don't know what you're trying to show me.
Look on his shorts.
Military.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty cool.
Who was that? Big Rig?
Yeah.
Johnny Hendricks?
But the book's cool. It was how he was growing up, and then how he kind of ran across Michael.
That wasn't until he was like 30 years old, right? Something along those lines? They met late?
They did meet late in life.
Are they really brothers, or is it the Ken?
I believe
Ken and Frank.
No, Ken and Frank are not brothers.
That's what I'm saying. Is it like
they're stepbrothers? Yes, stepbrothers. Same father, different mother, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, they're brothers.
Where Shamrocks are adopted by the Shamrock family.
Right,
That's
by
how they're
Bob
brothers.
Shamrock. Right. So, and that's why I always said about that people are like, oh my God, they want to fight each other. They're not really brothers.
Yeah.
Not that means anything. I mean, I would have fought my brother back in the day. I'd fight my brother tomorrow.
And after spending a whole week with the entire family, I can see why.
Oh, God. At each other's throats.
Not sure what all that.
Just a competitive family that likes to, mix it up a bit.
Especially you and your brother.
Well, he has two, but especially Randy Harris. That's great.
You know which brother I'm talking about.
855-483-6646. I just ignored it. I believe we have a phone call before we do our interview. We'll be headed up to Winnipeg here shortly. I believe Val on the line.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, pretty good. I had a comment that's kind of a question. How much does luck play into all these MMA fights and how it changes the perception of these fighters? For example, Stipe, did he just get unlucky and just got an unlucky punch from Stefan Struve? Same thing with Travis Brown. He hurt his leg. Barboza, he just got caught. He was on his way to the top. So just wanted to hear your opinion on, obviously Anderson Silva never gets unlucky, but what's your opinion on how much just randomness and sheer luck plays into all this stuff?
In my opinion, I think luck has something to do with everything. Luck crossing the street, playing poker. Yes, you can be talented, but luck of the cards. I do think there is some luck involved in anything. Leaving your head in the wrong spot, throwing the right punch at the right time. I also think there's a lot of obviously athleticism involved. Not in poker. I know you guys are already looking at me at that, but yeah, I would say that there's luck involved. Don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, maybe that's one way guys like GSP try to take luck out of the equation. Like maybe if they're just not feeling it right, go for a takedown or something. Or maybe guys like Anderson, maybe they'll keep their distance if they're not feeling right, or if they're still feeling out the opponent, just to reduce the luck factor and to allow their skill to, eventually play out so that they get their win. Where they have the advantage. They're maybe a 4-1 favorite in a fight, so they can realize their win. But honestly, I only saw the Stipe Stefan Struve fight once. I just don't remember exactly the mechanics of what happened. I think he just got caught. But my opinion of the upcoming fight, first of all, I'm a big country fan. And of course, I'm hoping he wins, but I don't think it's really all that. I think it's probably it's just a little bit better than 50-50. It's my opinion.
50-50 what?
Oh, I think Roy Nelson's probably like a 3-2 favorite at the most against Stipe, because I think Stipe just got unlucky.
And thanks, Valerie. Definitely appreciate the call. One of the things that I've heard before, and I like to think that luck is preparedness meeting opportunity.
Sure.
I think a lot of it has to do with preparing yourself beforehand and creating your own luck.
But then he brought up GSP that he's not unlucky. He was unlucky against Matt Serra. And I think he realized that there is luck involved, and now you need to take it out.
But really, what is the luck? The luck that you left your face in front of a punch?
That you underestimated somebody?
That's not luck.
No.
That's not luck.
But you're going off your skill, and he threw a punch that you weren't expecting. He was lucky that you didn't prepare. It's the other way of looking at it. Matt Serra got lucky that he didn't prepare for the fight, and he was underestimating him.
See, to me, when I think of, when
look at, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Look at the King Mo fight with the spinning back fist. That was just a lucky throw.
You sure? Do you know that?
Yeah, that
think
was a
that
lucky.
Emmanuel Newton didn't prepare for that?
No, there's the same thing with the Chael Sonnen. That was such an idiotic spinning back elbow. Anderson Silva took that luck right there that he threw something stupid. That isn't going to happen. And
so that's luck.
It is luck. There is luck involved.
Yeah, there's definitely luck involved. I don't think I would consider GSP not overtraining. I'm not going to say he didn't train, but not overtraining for Matt Serra is luck.
Luck for Matt Serra.
It is luck for him, but when I'm looking at luck, I'm thinking he went right instead of left. He
zigged when he should have zagged.
He bobbed when he should have beaved, or beaved and bobbed, or whatever.
Bob and weave.
Bob and weave. Yeah, he weaved instead of bobbed, or bobbed instead of weaved, or whatever. To me, I wouldn't consider that luck. I wouldn't consider a guy not going to the gym to train luck. And yes, I understand what you're saying. It's lucky for the other fighter that the guy's not coming prepared. But a knee at the right place, yeah, that's strategic, but there's luck involved that when I throw my right knee that you happen to be ducking down at the right time.
Your face is moving in the same direction
and
my knee is going.
But is it everyday life is luck?
Yep.
Dealing with the right companies is luck. Walking across the right street is luck. I mean, everything we do is luck. Us staying on the air for another 20-some minutes will be luck.
Yes,
absolutely. So I'm saying, yeah, I definitely think that there's luck involved. Now you can, and I also understand what Val said in the fact of, if you take a guy down, if you lay on top of him like some, we know who we're talking about, that's not necessarily luck. That's doing what you need to do to win the fight. I wouldn't consider
preparedness.
That's preparedness, knowing that in order for me to win the fight, I need to take him down. I can't stand. It's a close fight. If I lay on top, if I do whatever, again, it is what
planning.
It is.
That's preparing. That's you.
But again, Val, thanks for the call.
Yeah, definitely. And you see an opportunity to execute your game plan. Preparedness, opportunity, make your own luck.
All right. So once again, to register for the VIP tickets to sit at the Post It, Share It, Sellit.com VIP table on June 29th with Matt Hamill. Matt the Hammer will be in attendance. All you need to do is tweet, text, Facebook, smoke screen, hand deliver, any other way that you want to. I want to know the total record of Matt Hamill's 4 losses. So the 4 people that obviously beat Matt, what their records are. Wins, losses, and there is 1 draw. What are you nodding about?
I'm looking into Cleveland State University where Stipe Miocic went to school and the notable alumni. He's not on there.
On Wikipedia?
Yeah.
You can do it yourself.
Yeah, I just don't feel like doing it.
Okay. Well, fair
Manute
enough.
Bol.
Really?
Yes.
Wasn't aware Manute Bol went to college. I thought he came straight here to play basketball.
Says Manute Bol.
Who else?
Interesting.
Manute Bol, Norris Cole, plays with the Heat right now.
He needs to play better.
He does.
All of the Heat need to play better.
Frank G. Jackson, the mayor of Cleveland. Jonathan Bullock, a professional basketball player. A lot of basketball players. It seems like it's a
basketball heavy city.
Yeah.
But I believe Stipe played baseball. Didn't he play baseball there?
I don't know. It doesn't even give me that.
Interesting.
It says that there was interest. He got interest from Major League Baseball teams during his collegiate years at Cleveland State University.
Well, good for us. He chose MMA.
Played baseball his senior year in high school.
I don't know. Why? You know what? Why good? If he was to make the majors, I think he'd make a whole lot more money playing Major League Baseball.
If he made the majors. I mean,
Sure.
you can get drafted and you sign.
Luck. It's all luck.
Yeah, you could
be drafted by the right team or the wrong team.
Get injured while you're coming up through the farm system. Something like that.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Dan Henderson saying he has unfinished business with Jones.
He doesn't have unfinished business.
He didn't have
business. He didn't do any business with him yet.
He thinks he still has a shot of even getting a fight with Jones. I don't see it. And even if he has a chance, I don't want to see it.
Really?
No, not at all. Again, I think it turns into what happened with Bones and Sonnen.
So you have no interest in any John Jones fight? Is what it's
No.
to be.
No, I don't have any interest in a fight where Jon Jones is going to absolutely run through somebody. So if you have a super fight,
right?
So if you have a super fight,
so now you're talking. There's no light heavyweight fight that you would be interested in seeing because he is
not with Jon Jones
head
in
and
it.
shoulders.
So
above.
nothing. No, the Gustafsson fight. No,
he's going to run through him.
I think so. Do you think Gustafson has a shot?
I'm not saying that. I'm not the one that's dumping on the light heavyweight division in the UFC.
I'm not dumping on the division.
You are. You're saying
you are.
There's
I'm
no one to
saying
give
that
him a good fight.
At least right now, no. I don't. But if you have
Can you pull up
other
the rankings?
light heavyweight fighters fighting each other, then sure, yeah.
Now, I'm not necessarily saying that Dan Henderson versus John Jones would be the number one fight on my list, but there's a couple fights that Cormier, John Jones doesn't interest you, or because he's not at light heavy, it doesn't count.
Yeah, that doesn't count yet.
All right.
Glover Teixeira, he's number 4.
Doesn't interest you?
No, he said no. No.
I'm not trying to put yes in your mouth, but because everything's been no. So
far.
All right. So who's 3?
Henderson.
And 2?
Gustafson.
Okay, and none of all right. Well,
number 1 is Machida, and we saw and we already discussed how that went.
I have no interest in that.
So I mean, what? Rashad is 6th.
Might drop after this weekend.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that. Henderson and Evans. Henderson says that if he dominates Evans, or if he just stops the fight, he has a shot and should get the next fight with Jones.
Here's my problem with this fight. Because of Rashad's last fight, and I know Rashad said that he's gone back to old school training, and he's kind of gotten out.
Is he still in Boca?
But that's what I'm saying. Okay. So we don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So if Dan Henderson beats the Rashad Evans that fought the last fight, does that prove anything?
No.
And we won't know, and that's why a lot of times, and Derek says the same thing as I do, we don't necessarily like to even pick fights until we see the weigh-in, until we see what they look like. And it's not necessarily their physique of what they look like. It's just their mentality and how they're acting and responding. And I don't know what Rashad Evans is going to be there. It may be the old school Rashad Evans. And if it is, I'm not saying that it would be the greatest fight in the world, but yeah, I would like to see that fight happen. John Jones, the old Rashad Evans back. I understand what you're saying, but there are some interesting fights in the light heavyweight division for John Jones.
Do tell.
Before I do,
okay,
and I think we've already mentioned a couple, and Cormier is coming. We can do an old NWA, NWO, WWE kind of thing. He's coming. He's coming. Get ready. Glover, how can that not interest you? And it still could be the same outcome. I'm not saying that it's going to be any different.
You're just talking the excitement of it. How
absolutely
okay,
absolutely
the build up to the fight.
That fight interests me because of what Glover has done.
That's probably the most interesting.
And he's sitting at number 4. So I don't know what else we can do.
He is 21-2, which is pretty decent.
Are you not interested in any Anderson Silva fights? Be careful. Be careful how you answer. I'm already hated.
If it's a super fight.
So no fights. They're going off that. None.
And I would be okay with that. But just be consistent. But Anderson does the same thing to his competition.
He bobs and weaves, he makes them look stupid, and then he puts them to sleep.
GSP.
See, I don't put GSP in the same category.
I'm just saying he's been a champion for so long. He's been the wins may not be dominating,
but
that's different.
It's the way he
exactly that's different. The way GSP has won.
Is there in the past 4 fights when they step into the cage, I've wanted other people to win, but there's been no doubt in my mind GSP will win that fight. I just know it because he's going to do the same thing he always does.
Pretty much,
you piss off your opponent to
get in your head,
throw everything out the window. All he's going to do is do this to lay on me, and it's coming, but you still can't stop it.
All right. With that said, are you looking forward to the Johnny Hendricks fight?
Yes.
Because it's different? Because Hendricks is different? Because you always
I always hope there's going to be an exciting fight. I always put that in there until about round 2, and I'm like, damn.
I actually think Johnny is probably the best one to give him a run for his money.
Carlos
I think
Condit
he wins.
Knocked down GSP with a punch. I think Johnny Hendricks hits harder.
Yeah.
So if he lands that same punch, I don't think GSP is getting up.
Yeah, GSP's
So now GSP's game plan that I'm already is touch gloves and take him down.
But that's his game plan all the time.
He might stand a little bit. Take him down.
That's the thing, though. Johnny Hendricks, we actually haven't even really seen the quality of his wrestling.
And we'll see it.
I think he will be able to use that against GSP because once they get down to the ground, now this is going to be the most equal opponent on the ground.
When's this allegedly happening?
Supposedly October.
And that's when they're saying John Jones is going to return as well.
Yes. Now, he is a little bit more up in the air considering he has to heal.
So what's next for John Jones? Has there been anything?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Matter of fact, in the notes that we got from our social media director, is that your official title? Is that John Jones is overtraining right now? That he may re-injure his toe because he's already back in.
It's certainly possible. If he pushes it too far, and I think especially once everybody realized that it was a dislocation, not a break, mentally you're like, oh, it's just dislocated. We'll heal it up real quick. Everything will be fine. I'll be training again in a couple weeks. Bada bing, bada boom. But if you try to push things too quickly while you're still healing, then it doesn't matter. You'll keep pushing everything to the right because you keep on re-injuring it. So, and dislocations and sprains, those don't go away quickly at all. So, I mean, I would almost say a break would have been better.
Well, yeah, they always say that the break is better than a sprain because you can set it, you can heal it, you got a timetable.
Yes.
When you stretch muscles and whatnot and tendons and ligaments, you have no idea.
Did they say what alleged show the GSP is going to be? Is it going to be Toronto?
No, they did not. I did not.
Oh, you
see
said
anything
October, not September.
Yeah, just October. And I thought I heard something that GSP's next fight was definitely not going to be in Canada.
Makes sense.
Does it?
Sure.
His last however many fights have been in Canada.
I would like to see that fight be somewhere where
it's not freezing
in
October.
Definitely where it's not freezing. But it seems the UFC always goes where it's cold. They go to Brazil, it's cold. They go to Canada, it's cold. Go to some place where you're not necessarily going to sell out.
And have a really big fight.
And have a big, because a lot of times when look at the Sweden one or and I don't know what people are talking about. I think this Winnipeg card is not bad. I talked to a few people earlier today. They're like, "Well, you're not going to Winnipeg because it's a bad card." Look at it; it's really not bad. And again, for Jake Shields to be on the undercard, whether we're going by the theory of Josh Saman or not, it doesn't matter. It's still Jake Shield and Woodley is on the undercard. To me, that's saying it's a pretty good card.
I'm really looking forward to the Pat Barry-Sean Jordan fight. I just like watching Pat Barry.
Yeah. I like listening to Pat Barry. And how come people don't get on Pat Barry like they do Chael? Pat Barry likes to talk some too.
The same thing.
Maybe not to the same extent, and maybe that's my own answer. But no, I like listening to Pat Barry, and I like watching Pat Barry because, again, he comes to fight as well. And I'll always support, as a fan, guys that come to do their job, guys that come to lay it all on the line, Vanderlei Silva, and fight, win, lose, or draw. And how do you not love that about anybody?
Pat Barry's certainly that type of guy.
Who are some of the other fights? By the way, we are going to be doing a giveaway for Saturday's card. So, social media directors, if you can get that out, that we'll be doing the picks and such.
There's another women's fight. Alexis Davis, Rosie Sexton. I do believe seeing somewhere on MMAweekly.com, they're saying that Alexis Davis could be better than the champion Ronda Rousey.
I don't think that's what it said. And again, I'm not a big reader, but I thought it said that they thought that she would be the biggest competition, the biggest threat to Ronda Rousey.
Biggest threat to Ronda Rousey.
Okay, so it's not necessarily saying that she's better than Ronda Rousey. I believe it was saying that she would be or could be or will be the biggest threat to Ronda Rousey.
Let's see where she's ranked.
Well, and when it comes down to it, especially against somebody like Ronda Rousey, undefeated, can you ever really say, oh, well, this person is going to come in and beat the undefeated champion? Can you ever really say that they should win?
Number 6 in the rankings.
Okay. So number 6. And who is she fighting?
She is fighting.
Where's she ranked?
Rosie Sexton.
Right. Who's ranked?
Unranked.
Really?
Unranked in the 8 fighters that they have. No, I'm just kidding.
She's not ranked?
She is not ranked.
They only had 11 women ranked.
Well, I guess that means
she's the one that's not ranked.
Yeah.
She's 11.
So,
all right. You got me. Sorry.
question asked, answered.
I'll just sit in the corner. We will do a giveaway of UFC and post it, share it, sell it.com prizes. All you have to do, you can start tonight as long as they're in by. And again, to clarify, you can get in late because a lot of people are like, oh, damn, I missed it. I didn't get the. You can send it in. It's just from the point of when you send it in, that's when your fights count because I can tell by the timestamp as to when it comes. If you want to get in and do it from first fight all the way to the final fight, that gives you a better chance. UFC prizes as well as post it, share it, sell it.com prizes.
How much have you seen about the back and forth between the Silvas, Bigfoot and Tiago? Are you familiar with
a little bit? And I'll let you address it. But also, did you see that what Bigfoot is suggesting? He's going to drop down.
Really?
I didn't think that.
I saw that, and he was going to seek doctors' advice about dropping down.
That part is news to me.
His head weighs 70 pounds, so that's...
And you can't lose bone weight. That's all.
But now fill us in on the Twitter war.
Well, going back and forth, first off, Tiago was the one that called out Bigfoot. And Bigfoot, from what I had seen, at least when I was putting together the notes, Bigfoot said that he would accept it if Tiago didn't cut the weight. Because Tiago walks around at about 230, 235 and cuts down to light heavy. And Bigfoot wanted to fight at heavyweight. And Tiago was saying, obviously, that he wanted it at light heavy. I'm kind of curious as to why this all started happening in the first place, because Bigfoot is denying that Tiago is doing this because Tiago is saying Bigfoot was upset that Tiago left ATT. And to me, that doesn't seem like a good reason to call out a former teammate just because you're upset he lost.
They're very loyal.
He left.
Yeah, they are.
Those guys down there are very loyal.
But he had a reason why he left.
What was that reason?
Because he was going to fight somebody else. Wasn't it horse meat? When horse meat came, and
Bigfoot left.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they were both in the same gym, so Bigfoot left. So to hold him, well, you walked out on us. I don't think in this particular situation is correct.
Now, and Bigfoot said that any differences they have are not related to the departure from ATT.
Well, then maybe there was issues in the gym. And now it's okay to go after, and now it's okay to call out. And for people to be upset about this, I'm the guy that says teammates shouldn't fight. So for people that say teammates should fight, it shouldn't be an issue. They're not teammates anymore.
Right. Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to jump on both sides. If you're okay with teammates fighting, then what's the big deal? He's calling them out. There was an issue in the gym. They're going to settle it the way Brazilians settle it. Only they're going to get paid for it. A lot of times Brazilians settle it by they shutting the doors, they pull the things down. A whole
lot more people are going to watch this one.
Then we know how things get settled in a Brazilian gym. And now they're going to get paid for it. And I don't.
Well,
I don't see any,
is it going to happen?
If it happens.
Which would you rather see? A fight at light heavyweight or a fight at heavyweight? Do you want to see Cro-Magnon man fighting at light heavyweight?
Yeah.
You think he would be able to?
I don't know. I don't know, but how does that not interest you? The guy's a decent fighter. Maybe,
no matter what weight class he fights in, I want to watch him fight.
Exactly.
So it really doesn't matter where he's fighting.
And he is talented, and he can knock people out, which we've seen. And he is a jiu-jitsu expert. So yeah, let's see him go down, and then him and Cormier can hook up.
Do you remember what he weighed in for his last fight?
No, I don't. I not only don't remember, I don't know.
Just to say how much it takes out of somebody to cut down. Now someone who's never done it before.
But it's
cut down.
Right, but it's something that obviously, he can do over a long period of time if he's going to do it. If he's going to make a legitimate run. And who's saying he even wants a legitimate run at a title?
He just wants that fight.
He wants a fight and other fights. If he goes down and he can win at light heavy, would that John Jones fight not interest you?
Joe Riggs did it. Anybody can do it, right?
No, Joe Riggs fought bantamweight and super heavyweight. He was able to go up and down and up and down. So
the sliding scale.
Yeah, I mean, I would be interested. Are you not entertained?
He is not.
Well, when you look at just the recent records, Thiago Silva.
No contest.
All right, let's don't even talk Thiago Silva. Are you or are you not interested if Bigfoot could go down and fight light heavy?
Depends on who he's fighting. If he's fighting Thiago Silva, no. If he's fighting Daniel Cormier, yes.
Well, but shouldn't he go down and fight Thiago first?
That would be a good warm-up.
Exactly. Well, I'm saying.
And it would be a warm-up because in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights, he's 2-2-3.
All right, give me your picks. 20 seconds left. Give me your pick main event for Saturday.
Dan Henderson, vicious knockout.
Henderson.
I'll take.
I like Rashad. It's hard to say.
I wish I knew which Rashad was there. And
I'll take Dog.
Unfortunately, I wish we had more time. Hit us up on Twitter at Knockout Radio.
At KO Wegs.
Sean KO Radio.
The Juicy Onion. We'll see everybody next week.
Up.